Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today for the Daily Antidote of Song. Today is day 2158 consecutive days of singing here in the Daily Antidote, and we're so glad you've decided to join us today. We are very excited to be here in the middle of another Women and Justice Week here on the Daily Antidote. It is Women's History Month, and we are singing about social justice every day, and today will be no different. Very, very excited today to have someone new to us in the room. And this is someone that I met or met their people at Folk Alliance in New Orleans this year. So everybody, please wave a hello to Jack Barksdale. He's coming in from Texas, and I am super excited to have him. Before we keep going, I want to say hi to everybody who's out there on the live stream. Thanks, gang, so much for joining us today. And let's wave to everybody here in the room. Hello, everybody here in the room. I see that we have a bunch of states as per usual. I see that we've got folks here from Canada and British Columbia over there. And I see that we have also folks in the UK in the room. So thanks everybody for coming from all around the globe to sing with us today. Today is day, I think I said 2158 consecutive days of singing, and we are really moving very quickly towards the start of our 7th year of singing at the beginning of April. So hope you can continue to join us as we go into this crazy year and continue to try to make change in the world by being in community here and singing together. All right, let's talk about Jack Barksdale, who's in the room with us right now. Super excited to have him here. He is a folk Americana singer-songwriter and a multi-instrumentalist. He is from Texas. He started performing original music at the age of 9, and he is now touring nationally. He wows audiences with lyrics that are wise beyond his years. And he's got a lot of folk and blues and rock influences in his music. And he has shared stages with folks like Winona Judd and other big names. So he's got an early start on an amazing career. Jack Barksdale, welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a real treat to be singing with you and to get a chance to see sort of some of what your generation is putting musically into the world right now. And I know you have picked 2 songs for us today, and I'd love to have you tell us what the first one is and maybe sing the chorus with us a few times so we get to know it.
Yeah, for sure. So, this is a. I'll start out with the song. This is one I wrote called "The Wealthy Man's Debt," and it's sort of a strange one in that it doesn't necessarily have a set chorus, but it has a modified chorus every time. And so the first time we go through the chorus part, I say that we should cease to accept the wealthy man's debt as ours to be paid. But then all the rest of the time, for the next 3 choruses, I'm gonna say, the wealthy man's debt is not ours to be paid. And so, if you want to sing along with me, this is for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th chorus. I'll be singing, the wealthy man's debt is not ours to be paid. And yeah, so that's pretty easy, I think. So I'll just go into it now. While the dollar degrades and the wages stay the same, we're all left to fight it out while the victors point and blame. We all know that heat rises, wealth does too. Will we stand here at the bottom and wallow in our doom, or will we cease to accept the wealthy man's debt as ours to be paid? I guess it ain't right to put blame on the masses who've been preyed upon and tricked by those who own and harass us. Stockholm Syndrome on a whole population made to look past the greed among the pain and starvation can be hard to accept that the wealthy man's debt is not ours to be paid. I guess I'm just frustrated at the whole conversation. It's hard to build society on faulty information. No one to trust, no one to dismiss. A state of uncertainty that's sure to persist. And while we sit here upset, the wealthy man's jet is flying away. Peace and coexistence can be hard to find, but before you change the world, you got to change your mind. Money and influence, power and greed. What else is there to know? What else is there to need? It will slowly infect all the right and the left until we finally accept that the wealthy man's debt is not ours to be paid.
Wow, Jack Barksdale, thank you so much, everybody. Let's thank Jack for that. That's some pretty punchy lyrics and some pretty punchy guitar work, and really, you've got so much going on in that song. I'd love if you would just start by telling us about, how you wrote it, what it brought up for you, and kind of how it ties into right exactly where we are right now in our country.
Yeah, well, wrote this song, I guess last year sometime, and it's, yeah, I guess just inspired by the, you know, the wealth inequality that I think is pretty apparent in the U.S., even if you're not looking at, crazy graphs and that kind of thing. It's still sort of apparent. And yeah, I was just kind of thinking that, a lot of people say that, you know, I guess it was sort of it. The song began from the sentiment that my friend Abe Partridge puts very bluntly, which is that poor people shouldn't be fighting poor people, you know, uh, which is a pretty blunt way to say it. I'm sure there's a better way to say it, but I guess that's that's pretty succinct.
Yeah, no, that's really great. And I think, one of the things we're learning right now in these times is the value in direct language and actually just telling it like it is, right? And I feel like
Yeah.
in these times right now, we're seeing, I think, a deeper recognition or understanding of the elite class and how potentially they have been living and or what the sort of systems of morals and values have been behind the scenes and how that's affecting our population and really, quite frankly, the populations all around the globe. And
Mhm.
um, and that means both our own elite here in this nation affecting populations around the globe, but then
Mhm.
also the elite around the globe are
Mhm.
also sort of in some ways culpable for a lot of what has been going on.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit more. I mean, your lyrics are amazing. Do you want to talk about any
Thank
particular
you.
part in that song?
Well, I think the sort of the value of songs is, has a limited there's a limited amount of things that you can get through in a song, and so I guess this song is more of just kind of trying to be an advocate for uh coming together and realizing not quite I mean, you could call it a common enemy if you want. I think it's more just a common cause of, equality and wealth and also resources, um, like, medical care and education and food stability, all these things that are pretty, unequal, and I think we should all at least try our best to see them become more equal. And so yeah, that's
Thank
sort
you.
of where this song comes from. And like I say in the song, it's baby steps. You can't change the world unless you change your mind. Uh, yeah, who knows if anything will actually come of any of this, but at least we're trying.
That's great. That's really beautiful. That is a piece of hope that we have to keep, holding close in our hearts. Is that part of it is the trying, part of it is the agreement we've all made to keep trying, and
Mhm.
so that's really beautiful. Thank you so much, Jack. I love the way you just said. There's only so much you can get into a song, but I just want to say, in case you don't actually know it, but you got an awful lot into that song, and even the notion of how sort of not quickly, but like how you don't leave a lot of room in there, and so you're really packing it in, and that sentiment comes, the urgency comes through in the way that you are delivering those lyrics as well.
Thank
And
you.
then I love the idea that so much of what you're saying in there is really just got, it's like flashpoints right now in the news. So it said the wealthy man's jet is flying away. And it just feels like there's been in the last couple of months issues of jets with related to wealthy people in so many different ways. It's not just it's a thing. There's this one, and then there's this one, and there's this one. So it
Yeah.
feels very, very, very close to home and very close to heart right now. Um, Thank you for writing that fabulous song, for being a young person in the world. You started singing when you were 9 and writing songs when you were 9. And
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit, sort of about where you are now in your age and your schooling career and whatever else you've got going on?
Yeah. So yeah, I started getting guitar lessons or so when I was 7, and then started getting playing in picker circles and open mics and stuff when I was around 9. And yeah, I just loved music and loved writing songs, and I always, my parents don't play, but they're huge fans of music and would take me and my sister to concerts and would play great music. And so when we were in the car or something like that. So I got exposed to interesting music and interesting lyrics, and uh, yeah, I just always had an interest in it. And eventually, when I started trying to write, I just uh, began really enjoying it and trying to do it more. And I've kind of, changed my approach a lot over the years, as I think is expected, and I assume it'll change more in the future. Um, but yeah, I've just always been inspired by some of my favorites. My first big obsession was Johnny Cash, and I loved a lot of country music, all the Highwaymen. But then I got into some blues music with started getting into Leadbelly, which he plays all sorts of music, but often called a blues musician, and started getting into a bunch more blues music and a lot of that older stuff, a lot of Piedmont blues, like Blind Boy Fuller and Reverend Gary Davis, uh, and some slide guitar players more in the Delta style, like uh, Blind Willie Johnson and those kind of folks. But I always also had a love for the great songwriters of the '60s and '70s. Of Towns, Van Zant, and Guy Clark, and Leonard Cohen, and just all those great mm, songwriters and poets. So yeah, I just kind of mix all that up and try and do my best to come up with something somewhat original.
That is really great. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, you're following in the footsteps of a bunch of greats, and I think they'd all be really proud of where you are right now at the ripe young age of 18 and how much you are putting out there in the world. And yeah, I just saw the faces of people in the room all go like, "What? He's only 18." Yeah. So so yeah, it's you are giving me a lot of hope through your music and also through your viewpoint as we're increasingly seeing young people coming out more loudly and more strongly. And I would say with like outside of the box thinking, which is something that I think we really need. And I feel like there's a lot of that written right there into your song. And so you did tell me that you don't have any albums out yet, but you're in the process of starting to move towards making a recording. So we're all going to be super excited to hear about that whenever that comes out. And
Well, I actually do have some stuff out now, but I just don't have. I've got a bunch of new songs that I'm wanting to record that I haven't yet recorded, but hopefully I will soon.
okay, great. Awesome. So yeah, we hope so too. We'd love to see your stuff when it does come out. And so you have not recorded the song that you just sang, Wealthy Man's Debt, yet, or you have?
I actually have, and I released it just as a standalone single, not as a part of an album. But I'm hoping to record a bunch of other songs that are sort of in the same vein, uh, or at least loose kind of category, and re-release that song as a part of a wider album. But we'll see.
Great. Okay, that's amazing. And also, we chatted about the fact that your tour schedule is not up yet, but that we're all going to be waiting anxiously to see when it comes out, and hope, of course, that you're going to be coming into every single one of our areas. So there's a little worldwide tour you have to get going.
I'd
All the
love
folks
that.
in the, say it again.
Oh, I'd love that.
Great. Everybody in the UK who wants Jack to come, let me see your hands. There you go. Okay, everybody in Canada who wants Jack to come, let me see it. Yep, okay. And those of us in the UK. All right, we're all ready for you. Um so I know you've got a different song that you're going to close with. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, of course. This one is honestly it's very much in the same vein as the wealthy man's debt. This one more is in the form of a story instead of a story or an allegory, whatever you want to call it. Instead of just direct language. And got to tune my guitar here. Um, this one's called Battleground, and I think I'm gonna put a subtitle on it and call it "A Song of Class Warfare," but I don't know if that's too direct or not. We'll see. This is a brand new one.
Love it.
Wrote this one last month,
Well, when
and
you're ready, can you maybe run through the chorus once so that we can hear it before you start?
yes,
Awesome.
it is a very very simple chorus. It is just right here on the battleground, on the battleground. That's it, on the battleground, on the battleground. So on the battleground, on the battleground. So that's it. So that should be easy enough for y'all. And this one actually repeats every time, so I won't change it up on you. Sorry about that.
All right, I
Uh,
think we're ready, Jack. We're so
Perfect.
excited to sing with you. Thank you.
Awesome. Make sure that's in tune there. Okay, that should be good enough for folk music, right?
Love it.
Okay, here we go. She was born in a small town in a time of war, a war between the rich and poor. She grew up on the front lines, defenseless, relentless, there ain't no light on the battleground. On the battleground. She stole from the rich. They tracked her down, they stole from her without a sound, 'cause they bought the state and they bought the loss, and nobody's safe. Every domino falls on the battleground. On the battleground. As the walls closed in and darkness fell, her legion were forced to betray themselves. But she stayed alive, fought foe and friend. The warlords laughed and the world caved in on the battleground. On the battleground. Well, survival sure seems a worthy cause, but the state always loves a broken law. It's 3 strikes and you're out of the game. One knows justice only by name. On the battleground. On the battleground. On the battleground. On the battleground. She was born in a small town in a time of war, a war between the rich and poor.
Wow. Jack
Sorry, that one's a
Barksdale.
bit of a darker one.
So, it's amazing. We're finding a lot of strength in here in both calling out the darkness and then, finding the ways to sing in joy. And both of them are really, really useful right now. As, we all have been, I'm sure, reading or seeing the news in the last few days. There's just some new degrees of horror being enacted on countries and on people right now. It's so hard to figure out where to keep finding that hope and where to, how to process it all. And Jack, both of your songs really helped me a lot today to just kind of be putting the energy and the processing in as we're trying to, figure it out, going day to day. And can everybody please thank Jack Barksdale for those really, really amazing songs. Jack, you're giving me a lot of hope, and I want to thank you so much for being here. So I want to
Thank
also
you.
do a shout out to Fiona over there on the screen. Fiona is the one who introduced me to Jack. Thank you so much, Fiona.
Yes,
Great
thank you.
call, great fit here. And Jack, anything else you want to say before we shift out today?
No, I'm just, I appreciate you having me here, and, I hope that I didn't just, make it all doom and gloom, that, like I said before, even if, nothing comes of any of our efforts to try and make things any better, at least we're trying. That's
Beautiful.
all we can do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jack. I want to thank everybody for coming today and for being part of joining Jack here in this space. Always love having new folks with us in the room. And Jack, we hope we can have you back again sometime. I'm going to take a quick sec here to let everybody know what we're doing this week. So yesterday we did some video premieres with Elise Witt coming in out of Georgia. Today, new to us in the room, Jack Barksdale coming in out of Texas. Tomorrow we have Elena LaFulana coming in out of DC, Fran Andre on March 5 coming in out of the UK. We've got Lexi Uglo coming in out of Massachusetts, then Aileen Vance in California, and we're going to close the week with Melissa James in the UK. And we are singing women's history and we are singing justice right now. And quite frankly, I think basically singing justice from now until the next 5 years, because no matter what improvements we manage to make right now, there's always going to be more that we can do And our hearts are with all of the folks right now in the world who are hurting. My heart is especially wrapped today in the folks who we know have just lost children in Iran and in other places in the last few days. And so a deep breath and sending a lot of love to the people in the world who need it the most today. Thanks again to Jack Barksdale. And we hope that we'll see all of you here tomorrow on the Daily Antidote Song. Can everybody please help me wave goodbye to all the good folks out there on the live stream? Thank